edition of the Bucks Report for the 2024 football season. The Covington Buccaneers finished the regular season with a 3-7 record and qualified for the state playoffs for the 25th time in the history of the program. Coach Morgan, how gratifying was it for this young team to make it to the state playoffs this year?
It was awesome. We preach it's not about the outcomes. It's about the process that goes into it. But it is cool to see when you put a lot of work in, a lot of time, a lot of effort in, to kids like the kids that we have right now that deserved it and they've earned it really. So it's cool to see that for them.
Our playoff game was against Coldwater, which is a powerful program that has a good chance to reach the state finals. What impression do you have on how good Coldwater is?
Also, they're a pretty elite team in every category. We kind of knew that going in, but it was good for our kids to go there and see that because they're really talented. Obviously, they have a lot of great players, but what makes them really good and really special is how hard they play, how aggressive they are, how disciplined they are, and everything they do. So being on the field and for our kids to see those things was pretty cool.
Playing Coldwater gave the Bucks an opportunity to see firsthand what a state championship caliber team is like. How much do you feel this experience will benefit the Bucks in the future?
Like I just said, it's huge. Our kids do work really hard. They have a lot of discipline. When you see a team like Coldwater, who, if we want to, go far and get out of the region, go to state playoffs at all, that's the team you get past. And so, coming to see that level of work ethic, the level of toughness that they bring every game, is really good for our kids to see that.
Even though we are a relatively young team, it is obvious that there was a lot of improvement over the past year. Can you explain the most improvement the Bucks have shown this season?
Oh man. Well, before I answer that, it's kind of a cool stat that there was this year of us. If you look at the entire state of Ohio football, all divisions, Division 1 through 7, we finished the year the 12th most improved team in the state of Ohio based on all the metrics that they wrote through those. And then Division 6 football, we were the 4th most improved team in the state of Ohio. So those numbers alone speak for themselves there. It's a lot of the work the kids have done. But I think look at every aspect that we do. The toughness level was a little higher. The level of work increased a little bit this year. The level of maturity a lot too increased. The kids learned how to take it serious, how to kind of show up, prepare every day. Scout reports, film study, all that stuff increased because of the level of maturity they've shown over the last year.
We have 4 key seniors who contributed greatly to the program over the past 4 years: Garrett Listener, Kean French, Caden Thompson, and Jack Blumenstock. Beginning with Garrett Listener, what impact has he had on the program?
Since a young age, Garrett, we came in as freshmen, had to play some varsity football his freshman year, and he wasn't quite ready. Kind of got thrust into those spots, and kind of early on took on a leadership role. It kind of started his sophomore year, and moving through those, he's been a leader of the program really for the last 3.5 years. Kind of had to learn to do his freshman year when he maybe wasn't fully ready yet, but that experience gave him a lot of extra leadership reps. So kind of being the leader of the whole team, but like kind of setting the standard of toughness and the way he works was kind of an inspiration for a lot of kids in the program.
Yeah, let's talk about Kean French. What impact did he have?
When I think Kean, the big impact is the kind of the idea of being relentless. To where when Kean first started as a freshman, started playing, and compared to where he ended at by the end of his senior year, just a constant growth and staying with it. And there's times where Kean probably questioned whether what he was doing was enough or not, and then you do it over and over and over, year after year after year, and then you get to where he was his senior year. I think that's a big testament to him and the work he's put in, and that shows everybody else in the program.
What about Caden Thompson?
Kind of the same thing as Kean. I remember looking at a picture of Caden when he started as a sophomore for us, and it's kind of like, holy smokes, that kid played varsity football. Yeah. And we kind of make jokes with him all the time that he's probably our least talented O-line, but by far our hardest working O-line, and our most best leader on the line too as well. Like he helps get a lot of things set for us, a lot of protections, a lot of things going there. So the idea where you don't need to be the biggest, strongest, fastest kid to be a good player. Caden has really shown that through the way he plays, his level of work ethic, his level of, especially this year, his senior year, how he kind of really fully bought in and got dedicated to everything he did, and then took him on to pretty far. He got second team O-line this year in the TRC because of that.
Last but not least, let's talk about Jack.
Jack, man, he's kind of sitting always our seniors. He's awesome. Kind of something he kind of played early on, sophomore year. Like a lot of those other seniors, wasn't quite ready. I mean, sophomore shouldn't be ready to get to varsity. He didn't flinch, embraced the role, and went attacked it. And every day got better every single day. Then get to his senior year, and that constant growth has shown a lot of people around him that if you put the work in, good things will come from it. So.
There were 3 more seniors who joined the program this year: Tanner Paulsgrove, Avian Meek, and Wyatt Parker. What impact did these 3 additional seniors have on the season?
I think it was huge. I appreciate all of those guys coming out. I know, last year, not having a great season last year with the record 0-10, and they made the choice to come out and be unselfish to the team, and they all had to kind of earn their spot, and they did a great job. We preached being unselfish, and they came out of the way. Didn't expect anything, and earned everything they got. So all 3 of them, I think, did a phenomenal job, and they bought right into the culture, and honestly, in every aspect they did, they elevated the guys around them. And so just that level of humility to come in and want to buy in and want to do things the right way. And if you look at where they finished the year at, they might not start at the beginning of the year, but as the year ended, they all had a huge role on the team.
Yeah, I agree. There were several underclassmen who had a huge impact on the overall progression of this team. Which younger players did you feel made huge strides throughout the season?
We can be forever. There's a lot. I mean, that sophomore class as a whole, you look at those guys and think of the growth that they had from the freshman sophomore year is way more than I think most sophomores will ever have, which I think that's going to set them up for a major amount of success going into their junior year. But look at that class. I mean, the first couple that stand out big time, Eli Brooks, kind of took a big role helping him and Caden kind of led the line together. A super high IQ football kid, and really embraced that role. Another big one with Landon Castle from his freshman year, kind of getting thrust into a starting spot middle way through freshman year, having to learn to play quarterback. And then it started a lot with him with Landon in the offseason. He kind of dedicated himself to going, we do our skill sessions. He showed every time, the weight room showed every time, and kind of had not just the quarterback side of things, but the leadership side of things, to where he's earned a lot of respect from a lot of people in the program because of the way he works, because of the time put in that he has. So, and there's so many more too that are on there that have stepped up. Even some of these freshmen, they came in as a freshman and just like most freshmen, scared, intimidated at times. Big one that stands out, Kayla Reisman. By the end of the year, he was one of our better scout team players. Ended up playing our playoff game on last week. He ended up playing a lot at corner against Coldwater. So a lot of guys stepped up. Jordan Miller, Philip Mackin, Lucas Lester, all those guys, and there's so many more that have made huge improvements throughout the year.
The future of the program is bright due to the culture you and your coaching staff have established. Can you explain how great your coaching staff has been in helping you develop these players?
The staff's great. The big thing is that the players themselves have made the choice, and that's what it really is. Like, we have really good coaches that care a lot about kids, and they want to do it. But what really takes is, at the end of the day, kids get to make the choice to buy in, and their kids have done a great job of that. And they're the ones that put the work in. They're the ones that sacrifice their bodies every Friday night. So they're the ones that I think that deserve a lot of credit for that. I'm super grateful. I think we have a great group of coaches that buy fully into our mission to maximize everybody in the program, and that care about kids. You can see a lot of these guys. A lot of the coaches will go watch kids in the winter sports. They'll go hang out and see what they're doing over there. They develop a really good relationship with the kids to where the kids want to play hard for those guys. So they're huge into that. But I think at the end of the day, the kids have kind of earned a lot of themselves too.
Even though we are losing 7 seniors, the majority of the roster is returning next season. How much progression and development are you hoping will be accomplished over this next year?
Well, if you look back to the 23 season, at the end of it, coming into this year, I remember we as a staff, we talked a lot about, in like the June, July time period, how much we almost picked up right where we left off at the end of 23, to where coming into this season, it was like we were light years ahead, and we were able to keep that going. So looking at next year, hopefully when June, July pick back up, we pick up right where we left off and just continue growing. And there's no aggression at all. And that's going to start in the off season. The lifting, weights year round. getting closer to springtime, start doing skill sessions to get people where they need to be. And that requires a lot of work, a lot of time to be there. But, I think the growth from 23 to 24 was huge, and I think that the same thing could be that plus more, 2024, 25.
It is obvious that in order for the players to continue to grow and progress, they will need to put in a ton of time and effort in the athletic training you implement throughout the offseason. What is the offseason plan for the Bucks?
Yeah, we lift 6 a.m. 3 days a week, all year round. We've had every year our kids have been better and better about being there for that. You look at this year, the amount of growth we've had as players individually. We had a lot more guys in the weight room, and I expect the same thing this year. At the end of the day, that's what makes a huge difference. The work put in the weight room. Football's a pretty physical, violent sport that if you're not ready to go, it can be pretty tough. So that, and then it's usually springtime, we get back up at our skill sessions, so we start doing small groups, getting some drills installed, some things going to get ready for the season. So it's a long grind, but it's you look at the guys that put the work in the previous years and the amount of growth they made. Like the first one in mind is Trent Havener, Brock Lyons, those two guys. They live in the weight room and they're always here, and they had an amazing year because of that. So I think if we have more and more guys decide to make that decision, then the Bucks have a huge amount of growth coming up next year.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have.
We do have one bit more for you. So we're going to flip the script if you don't mind a little bit. We are incredibly grateful for the last couple of years of everything that you've done. I don't know if people know, obviously they see this BuccsReport thing here that we do, but they probably don't see all the work that you and your fellow student assistants put in. But for those of you who don't know, Elizabeth, she comes to practice every single day. Nobody ever really missed, but she's there every day. She helps get stuff ready, whether it's water bottles, whether it's practice things, whether it's pads, getting things out. And then she has to film every day with the drone. Water bottles every day, film water bottles, getting kid stuff, and whatever odds and ends that needed on the field. So she does a huge amount for what we do, and she's pretty humble, and she never really says that, but it's a big time, and she's done it for the last 2 years straight. And I get sometimes kids help out, but I don't think a lot of kids do as much as you do. So if you don't mind, we're going to do a little mock-in or a little interview to you now. So I'm curious, of these last 2 years you've been here now, what is your best memory being part of the football program?
Probably all the time before practice, whether it's in the coach's office or all the boys out here messing around.
Funniest memory then?
My funniest memory? Definitely Isaiah dancing at practice.
Yeah. Yeah. The last big question after you, then I have something else to do, is if you one last message. I know you talk to the boys a lot, and the boys respect you tremendously. So if you have one last message to give to the boys, what would that last message be?
I'm super proud of you guys, and I hope that you guys stick with it because you guys are going to be really good in the next couple years.
Awesome. So the last one I have, this is on behalf of the entire football program and everybody involved with it. But we got you a little gift here, if you want to look at them here. It's kind of, if you look back at your years within the program, there's some pictures that are in there. Maybe funny, maybe good, maybe cool. So I'll let you open this up here. So these take off here. And kind of look at these here. Yeah.
I was just like, show them.
That's up to you. I need your pictures.
Give everybody a haul. I feel awkward.
So I did my camera, maybe feel weird.
Yeah, that's awkward. Oh my god, are these just my school pictures?
Well, some are. There's more than just that.
Oh. This is me and Callie. I'm not showing my school pictures. Oh, these are cute.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if people know or not. Elizabeth decided this year one of the things she wanted to do was lead a team prayer for every game. And so during pregame, anybody that wanted to join in, it was an optional thing. It ended up being everybody. if they wanted to join in, she led a team prayer at every game. So that was a really cool thing.
Either like you. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I really do mean, Elizabeth, we appreciate you, and incredibly thankful for the last couple of years that you've given to the program. And I think it's really uncommon how much work you put in, and I think you've really impacted a lot of people. So on behalf of me and the entire football team, everybody around, we really appreciate you a lot and thankful for you. So, for one last time.
Good night and go Bucks.